So I have been doing a slightly better job of keeping up with this lettuce. This one is still kinda, yeah, it's growing out of control. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Kathryn, the Aerogarden Homesteader, and today I've got a little bit of exciting news. So some stuff ripening up in the garden and upstairs. So this is how the lettuce is doing. The lettuce is doing fine. I have been having salads about every other day. They're not massive salads, but they're decent sizes. So I've been using up some of the lettuce. And then this one up here, I actually did start coming through and taking out some of the bottom leaves. Yeah. So, and then the poor cilantro. We keep hacking at it, and well, I mean, it just keeps pushing out growth. So we just keep using it. I really just need to start some more. But this is how the downstairs is going, and I will show you how the upstairs is going. And this is how the upstairs plants are going. They are doing really well. These peppers are just insane. I actually have little peppers starting. I have a little fan on so I can start getting some air moving, and I think it's been helping a little bit. I can see that some of the flowers are kind of vibrating. I have some tomatoes that are starting to ripen, so that is really cool. And then back here, I don't know if you can see, got a nice pepper plant or a nice pepper that's actually starting to form. And then this one's looking really good as well. This one's just kind of taken over. Both of them actually are kind of taken over. So I thought they would be small tomato plants, and they kind of are, but they're sort of sprawling out and taking up all the available space that they can. And I keep going through and kind of raising the light and taking off some of the outer leaves that are impeding the light to the lower branches. But there's lots of flowers in there. I did increase the amount of food they got, so hopefully that will help with things. So, and I will show you how the outdoor garden is doing. And for the outdoor update, look at all these flowers. These are pumpkin flowers. It's pretty cool. I also have quite a few tomatoes starting to ripen up. See some in there. We've already made a batch of salsa. There's actually one kind of buried in there. I don't think you'll be able to see it. Broccoli is still going to seed and looking good. So, and more tomatoes, the dill. I need to come out and harvest this dill. All of this dill, most of it's gone to seed, so I need to do that. And I've got this massive pumpkin just suspended here, and the little one behind it is almost ripe. I need to start keeping an eye on the tendril. So once that tendril dries out, I think that's how it works with pumpkins as well. But once that tendril dries out, I can harvest it. These are starting to die back. I might have to move this one actually. I don't know if it's getting enough water at this point, because the one here that had the, I don't know if it was cauliflower or broccoli, it was not actually getting enough water either. So I had to move it so it could get water. And then I finally have a pumpkin on this vine, so that's pretty cool. Then over here, this one is starting to change color, which is awesome. Look how big that is. That's a really nice big pumpkin. These are the winter pie pumpkins, I think. And then I don't know what's going on with this poor one. Maybe it's not getting enough water. Maybe the cucumber is blocking it. I'm gonna have to move that. And then these ones are also starting to die back. More this one than the other one. So I can definitely see that some of the tops are starting to die back. So that's good. I might be able to harvest soon. I did have something come through and eat like half of my head of cabbage. We suspect it might have been like an animal and not just slugs. So I've got these bags on them to hopefully prevent that from happening. So it's just so frustrating and annoying. And then look at this. I have cucumbers. So that's great. So I am actually going to move this over. Oh yeah, that feels really dry. I'm going to move it over here where hopefully it'll get more water. This one can also get some more water. And, okay, so I might have figured it out. These are the mini jalapeno. They actually do get a little bit bigger than that. So see this one here? That's about the size I've been getting, maybe slightly bigger. So they are actually mini peppers. But the interesting thing is when you put them in an AeroGarden and they get lots of food and, you know, the right number of resources and all that, they get big. So that's why I couldn't tell if they were mini plants or mini peppers. It turns out they are mini peppers. They're just regular sized plants. But yeah, that's just an interesting observation on the differences between growing something outside and growing something in an Aerogarden with lots of nutrients. So I harvested my baseball bats. I didn't let them get too big, but I did harvest them, and I don't think I have any more going yet. But yeah, I put those in the freeze dryer, and then this has just exploded with red tomatoes. So I probably need to harvest these up and get those in the dehydrator so I can start drying them out and turn them into kind of like a raisin. They're really good in salads, so I'm going to do that. And then I've been slowly going through and harvesting the sunflower heads as they ripen because I want to save those for the chickens over the winter. It'd be nice to just be able to go in and chuck in a head of sunflower seeds and just let them pick at it and, enjoy it. Our apples are getting bigger. We still have to keep an eye out for worms. So I haven't really seen any yet. And over here, I did pick that, I had a rutabaga growing here. So I don't think this is rutabaga, this is something else. I don't know what this is. But the rutabaga went to seed, so I did harvest that. And I'm just collecting the seeds. I did purposely drop some on the ground, so hopefully we'll get some volunteers. Would be nice. They are a fall crop, I can put them in. I found a random carrot. So, let's see. Planted those like last year in the spring. Dang. So, and then along this row, we have some more of our red strawberries are growing. So that's good. I need to actually probably pull back this nasturtium because there are some strawberry plants under here and I don't want it to cut them off because these are the red ones and I'm trying to cultivate them and get more red plants. I've actually started pulling out some of these white ones, so I'm going to pull it probably back to where the mulch meets the grass because that's as far as I have planted red ones. So there's a couple of red ones kind of on this side of the border, and ideally it would be nice if I could just move them over, but I'm kind of loath to disturb them because they're doing well. What I could do is I can leave them here, and as they put out runners, which I gotta pull out the white runners, but as the red ones put out runners, I can just cultivate the runners, like train them to go over to this side, and then just fill this in with red. Would be nice. We'll see what happens. And then I do have some red strawberries over here, which I really should move these ones because these ones are actually putting out a lot of runners as well, and they're creating a small strawberry patch over here. I have discovered that strawberry plants are incredibly invasive. It's like, wow, who knew? So my pumpkin plants are definitely just sort of taken over. I had all this stuff here, and so it wasn't able to get in and kind of keep training them up the trellis. So that's kind of my bad. I guess I could pick these up and try to squeeze in there and get them back into the trellis, but it doesn't really matter how much time do I have left on the season. Speaking of the end of the season, I need to actually go through, pull out my beans. I know I say this almost every time. I got to pull out my beans and I got to start them. So that's just on my to-do list, and it just keeps falling on the wayside. But in the meantime, this is the garden update. I hope you found this useful. I hope there's something in here that you have been watching and been curious about. I am still curious about these. I think there's one here that might be ready to pick. So I will let you know how that goes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will have some videos up at the end that you might enjoy, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.